Chapter 3, Liberation from Material Planets. The Gyanis and Yogis are generally impersonalists, and although they attain the temporary form of liberation, by merging into the impersonal effulgence, the spiritual sky, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, their knowledge is not considered. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, their knowledge is not considered pure. By penance, austerities, and meditation, they can rise up to the platform of Supreme Absolute. But as he as he has been explained, they again fall down to the material world because they have not taken Krishna's personal features seriously. Unless one worships the lotus feet of Krishna, he again has to descend to the material platform. The ideal attitude should be, I am your eternal servitor. Please let me somehow engage in your service. Krishna is the Ajita, unconquerable, for no one can conquer God. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, one with this attitude easily conquers the Supreme. Srimad Bhagavatam also recommends that this give up this futile, futile process sup- to measure to measure the Supreme. We cannot even measure the limitations of space, what to speak of the Supreme. It is not possible to measure the length and breadth of Krishna by one uh, minuscule knowledge, and one who arrives at this conclusion is considered intelligent by Vedic literature. One should come to not visible, Mataji. Yes, one should come to understand submissively that he is a very insignificant segment of the universe, abandoning the endeavor to understand the supreme by limited knowledge or mental speculation. We should become submissive and hear of the supreme through authoritative sources such as the Bhagavad Gita or through the lips of realized souls.
Chahat Mataji. Okay, Vanshika, you can read.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Chahat.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is hearing about God from the lips of Sri Krishna himself. In this way, Arjuna set the criteria criterion for understanding the Supreme by submissive hearing. It is our position to hear the Bhagavad Gita from the lips of Arjuna or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master. After hearing, it is necessary to practice this acquired knowledge in daily life. My dear Lord, you are unconquerable, the devotee prays. But by this process, by hearing, you are conquered. God is unconquerable, but he is conquered by the devotee who abandons mental speculation and listens to the authoritative sources.
According to Brahma Samhita. Yes, Mataji, you can continue.
According to the Brahma Samhita, there are two ways of acquiring knowledge: the ascending process and the descending process. By the ascending process, one is elevated by knowledge acquired himself. In this way, one thinks, I don't care for any authorities or books. I will attain knowledge by myself or meditation, philosophy, etc. In this way, I will understand God. The other processes, the descending process, involves reviving knowledge from higher authorities. That the Brahma Samhita states that if one takes the ascending process and travels at the speed of mind and will and wind for millions of years, he will send it. He will still end not up knowing for him. The subject matter will remain elusive and inconceivable, but that subject matter is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Ananya Cheta, Krishna says to meditate on him without deviation from the path of devotional service is submission. For one who worships him in this way, Tasyaham Sulabha, I become easily available. This is the process. If one works for Krishna 24 hours a day, Krishna cannot forget him. By becoming submissive, he can attract the attention of God. As Guru Maharaj Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used to say, don't try to see God. Is God to come and stand before like us just a servant, just because we want to see him. That is not submissive. We have to oblige him by our love and service.
The process, the proper process for approaching Krishna was given to humanity by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami. His first disciple appreciated it. Rupa Goswami was a minister in the Mohammedan government, but he left the government to become a disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he went to see the Lord, Rupa Goswami approached him with the following words: नमो महावेदानया कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदाय ते कृष्णया कृष्ण चैतन्य नमने गौरतस्वे नमः. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is more magnanimous than any other avatar, even Krishna himself, because he is bestowing freely what no one else has ever given, pure love of Krishna.
Rupa Goswami called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the most magnificent, the most charitable personality, because he was offering the most precious thing of all very cheaply, love of God. We all want Krishna and all are hankering after him. Krishna is the most attractive, the most beautiful, the most opulent, the most powerful, and the most learned. That is the object of our hankering. We are hankering after the beautiful, the powerful, the learned, the wealthy. Krishna is the reservoir of all of this. So turn we only turn our attention towards him and we will get everything. Everything, whatever we want, whatever is our heart's desire will be fulfilled by the process of Krishna consciousness.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी मैं read कर सकती हूँ.
Yes, Mataji.
For one who dies in Krishna consciousness, as stated before, entrance into Krishna Loka, the supreme adobe where Krishna resides, is guaranteed. At this point, one may ask what the advantage is in going to that planet, and Krishna himself answers, "Mam upetya punarjanma dukhalyam ashashvatam nav punarvan नव पुनर्वन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गतः." After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection.
This material world is certified by Sri Krishna, the creator, as Dukhalayam, full of misery. How then can we make it comfortable? It is possible to make this world comfortable by the so-called advancement of science. No, this is not possible. As a result, we do not even wish to know that these miseries are. The miseries are stated before our birth, old age, disease, and death. And because we cannot make a solution to them, we try to set them aside. Science has no power to solve these miseries that are always giving us trouble.
Instead, they divert our attention to the making of species are automatic bombs. The solution to these problems is given here in the Bhagavad Gita. If one attends to Krishna platform, he doesn't have to return again to this earth of birth and death. We should try to understand that this place is full of miseries. It takes a certain amount of development in consciousness to understand this. Cats and dogs and hogs cannot understand that they are suffering. Man is called a rational animal, but his rationality is being used to further his animalistic propensity. Instead of to find out how to get liberation from this miserable condition, Hare Krishna is explicitly is stated that one who comes to him will never be reborn to suffer miseries again. Those great souls who come to him have attained the highest perfection of life, uh, which elevates the living entities from the suffering of conditioned existence.
One of the differences between Krishna and an ordinary being is that an ordinary entity can be in only one place at a time, but Krishna can be everywhere in the universe and yet also in his abode simultaneously. Krishna's abode in the transcendental kingdom is called Goloka Vrindavan. The Vrindavan in India is that same Vrindavan descended on this earth. When Krishna descends himself by his own internal potency, his dham or abode also descends. In other words, when Krishna descends on this earth, he manifests himself in that particular land. Despite this, Krishna's abode remains eternally in the transcendental sphere in the Vaikuntahs. In this verse, Krishna proclaims that one who comes to his abode in the Vaikuntahs never has to take birth again in the material world. Such a person is called a Mahatma. The word Mahatma is generally heard in the West in connection with Mahatma Gandhi. But we should understand that Mahatma is not the title of a politician. Rather, Mahatma refers to a first class Krishna conscious man who is eligible to enter into the abode of Krishna. The Mahatma's perfection is this: to utilize the human form of life and the resources of nature to extricate himself from the cycle of birth and death.
As an intelligent person knows that he does not want miseries, but they are inflicted upon him by force. As stated before, we are always in miserable condition due to this mind, body, natural disturbances, or other living entities. There is always some kind of misery inflicted upon us. This material world is meant for misery. Unless the misery is there, we cannot come to Krishna consciousness. Miseries are actually an impetus and help to elevate us to Krishna consciousness. An intelligent man questions why these miseries are inflicted on him by force. However, modern civilization's attitude is let me suffer, let me cover it by some intoxication. That's all. But as soon as the intoxication is over, the miseries return. It is not possible to make a solution to miseries of life and artificial intoxication. The solution is made by Krishna consciousness.
One may point out that although the devotees of Krishna are trying to enter Krishna's planet, everyone else is interested in going to the moon. Instead, isn't going to the moon also perfection? The tendency to travel to other planets is always present in the living entity. One name for the living entity is Sarvagata, Sarvagata, which means one who wants to travel everywhere. Travel is a part of nature of living entity. The desire to go to the moon is not a new thing. The yogis also are interested in entering the higher planets, but in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna points out that this will not be of any help.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. The universe is divided into higher, middle, and lower planetary systems. The Earth is considered to be the member of middle planetary system. Krishna points out that even if one enters into the highest planet of all, called Brahmaloka, there is still repetition of birth and death. Other planets in the universe are full of living entities. We should not think that are here and that all other planets are vacant. From experience, we can see that no planet on Earth is vacant of living entities. If we dig deep down into the Earth, we find worms. If we go deep into water, we find aquatics. If we go deep, if we go into the sky, we find so many birds. How it is possible to conclude that other planets have no living entities? But Krishna points out that even if we enter into those planets where these demigods reside, we will we will still be subjected to death. Again, Krishna repeats that again upon reaching his planet, one needs not to take birth again.
We should be very serious about attaining an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge. We have forgotten that this is actually our aim of life, our real self interest. Why have we forgotten? We simply we have simply been entrapped by the material glitter, by skyscrapers, big factories, and political play. Although we know that, however big we build skyscrapers, we will not be able to live there indefinitely. We should not spoil our energy in building mighty industries and cities to further entrap ourselves in the material nature. Rather, our energy should be used to develop Krishna consciousness in order to attain a spiritual body whereby we, we may enter into Krishna's planet. Krishna consciousness is not a religious formula or some spiritual recreation. It is the most important part of the living entity.
Chapter 4, The Sky Beyond the Universe. If even the higher planets in the universe are subject to birth and death, why the great yogis arrive for elevation to them? Although they may have many mystic powers, these yogis will have the tendency to want to enjoy the facilities of material life. On the other planets, it is possible to live for incredibly long lifetimes. The time calculation on these planets is indicated by Sri Krishna. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together is the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night.
One yuga covers 4 crore 3 lakh years. These number multiplied by 1000 is calculated to be 12 hours of Brahma on the planet Brahmaloka. Similarly, another 12-hour period covers the night. 30 such days equal a month, 12 months a year, and Brahma lives for 100 such years. Life on such a planet is indeed long, yet even after trillions of years, the inhabitants of Brahmaloka have to face death. Unless we go to the spiritual planets, there is no escape from death.
When Brahma's day is manifest, that multitude of living entities comes into being, and at the arrival of Brahma's night, they are all annihilated. At the end of the day of Brahma, all the lower planetary systems are covered with water, and the beings on them are next. peace and them annihilated after this devastation and after the night of Brahma passes in the morning when Brahma arises, there is again creation and all these brains and this being come forth. Thus, subjection of creation and destruction is the nature of the material world. Again and again, the word comes, and this host of beings is active, and again the night falls for path, and they are helplessly dissolved.
Hare Krishna. So we would like to welcome His Grace Dharmendra Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, what are different things daily happened in this session? Reading, chanting.
Yes, Prabhuji. We do Mangal Aarti for 50, in 10 to 15 minutes, 4:30 to 4:45. Then 11 rounds chanting, and then half an hour reading.
Half an hour reading. Okay. Daily 4:30 to 6:30.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, good. And last around 1 week it's going on.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, thank you. Very nice to see so many devotees waking up so early and ready, because it's difficult to wake up early in the morning. Then chanting, we can chant alone, but when we chant together, it gives us strength, more strength. Generally, the people outside, they have different aims, but they are not together to achieve that goal. But for the spiritual goals, in order to achieve, one should be devotee should be together. It helps them to achieve that goal very nicely, very early. So it's very important for all devotees to come together and chant, come together and read. It's very effective. And especially, we need some devotees who are very, in Kirtan, many devotees will participate. In feast, many devotees will participate. In all other activities. But just for chanting, very not all will come, very few will come. So there should be some devotees who are very strictly following all the principles of devotional service, chanting, reading, and this, it will makes us strong spiritually. And we need some devotees who are very genuinely following Krishna consciousness. Very less will follow very strictly, but there should be some devotees who are very strictly following. They can help others also. We need devotees who are following very nicely Krishna consciousness. And when they will follow, by seeing them, others will follow. They can help others to become Krishna consciousness, to preach Krishna consciousness. So we need. There is one quote of ISKCON: more devotees and happier devotees. So we need more devotees, we need happier devotees, and we need more devotees, happy devotees, and contributing devotees. There should be contribute also. So it's good to see you all are coming together daily for this practice of Krishna consciousness. It is proud to see. Hare Krishna. Anyone have any comments? Anything you want to ask? I was just invited, so I came. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of you are very regular. Because if we alone want, it's very difficult even to read Krishna one, read books. But when we are together, we can do all things. You are doing chanting daily, Mangal Arati, and reading. It's very nice. All things completed in 11 round of chanting. It's very nice. 11 round chanting is very difficult. At the end, we do Guru Vandana also. That is also very nice, Guru chanting. So our morning program is so powerful. It includes all the aspects of Krishna consciousness. So Anmanu calls also in morning serving very nicely. Yes.
हरे कृष्णा। शायद कुछ नेटवर्क इशू हो रहा है, 2 मिनट वेट कर सकते हैं, नहीं तो फिर एंड कर देंगे।